If you consider gaming to be a hobby of yours like I do, I'm fairly certain that most of you have likely amassed a big ass pile of unfinished games. Yep, I'm referring to the ubiquitous backlog, but I don't think it's a problem like most people view it as. Recently, I was taking a gander myself at the trusty old shelf of games, wondering if I'd have the time to complete any of them. It's crazy to say that too, because I don't even think I have a big library. I've only really got games for the Switch, and like the Switch 2 I guess, but they're pretty similar, so whatever. Anyways, compared to some other content creators, my collection is absolutely tiny, but I've still managed to succumb to the backlog woes. So why the heck am I so stressed out about it? I've discovered that there is a total process to building and subsequently stressing about a backlog. There's the beginning, where you buy a game because it's reviewing well, or it's in a series you like, or maybe it was just on sale and it caught your eye. Personally, I fall into FOMO, of course. Everybody's talking about these genre-defining games that are super amazing. Like, they absolutely fuck in every sense of the word, and you have friends who are like, dog, you have to play this game right now. However you've gotten it, you've now obtained a new game. Then there's like the next step. 3 seconds later, you're feeling the middle part, which is buyer's guilt. You just blew $60 on a game and you have to get your money's worth, so you play the game for like 30 minutes before tossing it on the ever-growing pile of games that you want to play, and will definitely finish eventually, and go back to the final step, which is procrastinating by running another round of Smash Online. Like, dude, trust me, I am totally projecting with this scenario I described, because it's easy to pick on yourself about this kind of thing. Money is tight these days, and are you really a true gamer if you've never played Red Dead Redemption 2? To answer that question, yes, if you like games, you're a gamer. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. If they are telling you stuff like that, they're probably a fucking chud. Whatever. What I meant to say is that you are not alone, and that's some good news. Did you know that there's actually a scientifically explained phenomenon for this exact feeling, and you can totally trick your brain into not worrying about it? I'm referring to something called the Zeigarnik effect, which in layman's terms explains the tendency for unfinished tasks to stick around in our headspace more often than finished tasks. I actually learned about this from a Daryl Talks Games video. I think you should check out his backlog stuff because it's dope and I'm a fan and is also relevant. But anyways, like it or not, having a lot of games you want to play is sort of like making a mental to-do list, even if it's a subconscious thing, which will trigger that aforementioned Zeigarnik effect. If this is a scientifically explainable phenomenon, then what's the solution to my backlog? Or your backlog, or our backlog, because I'm kind of convinced that I had one until I started writing this script. But yes, hypothetical viewer, I am glad you asked. Simply put, the best way to enjoy games without the choreless mentality is to actively choose what you want to play and to just accept the backlog for what it is. Yep, I'm being like super duper serious right now. I'm actually so dead ass. Just stop caring. It's an easy thing for me to say, right? But I've got the points to back it up, so let me explain myself. I guess the best way to stop caring is to view your games kind of like a library. When you go to a library, you're not trying to finish all of the books there. You're there to browse the books, poke around, and pick what suits your tastes at a particular moment. Sometimes you want action, or a bibliography, or a romance novel. Gaming should be viewed in the same exact way. Look at your shelf like a library of games you can pick and choose from as you go. Sometimes you can put them back and come back to them later, or decide that they're not worth the time of day. Like, it's totally fine. They're video games, they're not like an actual project that you have to work on. I mean, plus we have so many games to pick from these days, and sometimes there are too many to finish. Another thing, some quick advice from your local lizard man: stop buying so many damn games. Like, geez, person watching this video, it's a-okay to skip that particularly juicy looking Steam sale. Actually, you're probably being far more responsible by saving that money and not blowing it on something you'll literally never launch. Like any library or collection, you should be curating your games. When choosing to add to your library, think about a few things. A. Will you enjoy this game? B. Does it do something that really interests you, even if it's not very similar to other games you like? And C. Does it suit a particular genre or mood you generally enjoy? These 3 questions will help you decide if something is worth adding to the collection. Curating an assortment of games you want to play will reflect your gaming taste, while also making your collection that much more valuable to you as an individual. It'll make the decision on what title you want to play next far easier on you at the very least. Wrapping this back around to the library analogy, you wouldn't really want a library full of fucking Colleen Hoover, so stop buying games and genres you know you don't like. So, what if you actually do want to finish the backlog? After all that rambling about why backlogs aren't important and why you should really just try to play what you want to enjoy, I'm sure there are still going to be folks who at least want to put a dent in the backlog. What's nice about all this advice is that even though it de-incentivizes the backlog as something important to your enjoyment of gaming, tackling your library in this way is actually a really solid way to inadvertently make your list of games smaller. If you're playing stuff more naturally without worrying about what's next, you're probably going to finish more games because you'll be playing games you actually want to finish. As a kid, I finished nearly every freaking game I had the opportunity to play, and it was because I just wanted to enjoy video games. There wasn't any complicated thought process behind the series of the game or the list of fantastic games I want to play next. I mean, I was just playing games to play games. And one more thing, my friends. Share your games with friends and family. Physical games are great for this reason, and it's always going to be fun to talk with folks about your experiences playing something. Some of my favorite gaming memories personally aren't playing the games, but sharing that experience with my friends. And sometimes that gave me the motivation to pull through on a title that I wasn't really, fully in on at first. Resident Evil 5 is a great example. It took me a while to get through it, but a very dear friend of mine encouraged me to play more, and now it's one of my favorite games ever, of all time. So, in conclusion, gaming is intrinsic, which means that any enjoyment you get out of it is purely internal. So, play what you like, dude. It's a hobby. Treat it as such. Yeah, actually, I think that's about it. Sorry. Couple more things I'd like to say, starting with a big fat thank you. I totally did not expect that last video I made to get so much attention, and it threw me for a freaking loop, dude. I'm super excited to have y'all here, and I'm very proud to serve you guys the interesting content that you'd like to see. So, if there are any titles you want to see me review, let me know. Lastly, I stream on Twitch. I don't have a schedule yet, but if you follow my Bluesky or my Twitch, I'm sure you'll see when I go live. I tend to announce those things, so yeah, thanks folks. Peace.